Alright, I'm not really sure what day we're on. I'm going to guess it's probably day 14. Okay, so it's Wednesday. Yeah, so tomorrow will be exactly the 2 weeks. So it's like the 13th or 14th day. Not really sure. Okay, but today's an exciting day because now I've got another option for powering the camper. I've already got some solar, got the solar generator. Obviously, I'm going to have propane here. And now I have... Oh, you see that? I got generator stuffs now. So that puts me with everything as far as power generation is concerned. So, solar panels, gas, generator, propane. And of course 12 volt. I'm planning on upgrading the battery system in this thing. I'm thinking I'm probably going to get 3 AGM batteries, 100 amp hours. I don't know if that's going to be enough, but I think it will be. Because most of the stuff in the camper now is 12 volt and everything is LED. And I've even got plenty of batteries at this point, you know, for like battery powered lights. Because I'm a photographer and videographer and YouTuber and stuff, I've got all kinds of like set lights, you know, small little battery powered set lights that just use regular old batteries. So I can recharge those off the solar generator, then take the solar generator outside and put it in the sun and let it, you know, recharge itself. And so, I mean, I've got a lot of options now. Unfortunately, this is not a dual fuel generator, but it is one of the most highly praised generators on the market right now. I don't understand how it's done so well, but I've got to put it through its break-in period now, so I got to get that started. But before I do want to say that, like, I have no experience with the inverter generators. I'm used to open frame generators, and they're always like ridiculously loud. They're not welcome really in campgrounds. They're not really all that, you know, awesome. Even when you're out all alone by yourself, I mean, it's just ridiculously loud. It takes you out of the experience, like if you're going to be in the woods. So I've never wanted to be that guy. So every single time that we've ever gone anywhere, you don't take an open frame generator outside. You know, you just don't. And with an inverter generator, they are much, much quieter. And I'm talking on the magnitude of sometimes 20 decibels, depending on the size of the engine. Most of the inverter generators are completely enclosed, smaller engines, and they create pure energy. You know, they're not like, it's not like dirty, quote unquote, dirty energy. So if you have sensitive electronics, if you have computers, laptops, phones, tablets, stuff like that, you need like clean energy, just like you would get from your house. Most of the open frame generators that you will buy from, you know, wherever, you know, Lowe's or Home Depot, I mean, they're just made to crank out power and as much of it as possible. So there's no like modulation. There's no, you know, there's no like inverter. There's no sine wave inverter to convert just all that raw energy into something that's a little bit cleaner and more stable, so that there's no like surges and stuff like that. So this is my first inverter generator, but having some experience with other styles of generators, I understand the concept of inverting that power from direct current to AC, understanding the relationship between amps, volts, and watts. And this generator, inverter generator, will go up to a max of 3,500 watts. Most standard 13,500 BTU air conditioners run right around 1,500 watts. So that is only roughly half of what that can handle. And that's the only thing that I am mainly concerned about. Everything else in here, like I said, is LED. Like, we're talking a minute amount of watts, except the refrigerator. And I have tested it because I have actually plugged the RV into the Kodiak, the Energy Kodiak, which is my solar generator, and it actually has a meter on there that will allow me to see just exactly how many volts, watts, and amps whatever is connected to it at that moment is taking in. This refrigerator runs on about 330 watts. So if I combine the total amount of AC plus the refrigerator, I should be able to run both of them absolutely no problem. Won't even come close to hitting the base running watts of 3,000. All right, so I think it's a good looking unit, honestly. I mean, it's just huge. And none of these generators are all that easy to move around and maneuver, but Predator does give you these really nice grab handles. These grab handles are metal, so they feel nice and sturdy. They're kind of textured just a little bit, so that's super nice. Nice big gas cap with a chain and a fuel filter down here. I believe, if I read correctly, this is a 2.6 gallon tank. According to the specs, this thing will run for around 11 hours on a 25% load. While it does have an electric start, you do get a really nice string pull here. Your electric start, your eco throttle, run, start. Down here is your battery compartment. So you would unscrew this screw, connect your battery terminals. You do have a wheel lock down here. This is your breaker button for the 12 volt DC. Breaker for your AC plugs. This is your 30 amp AC, and it does come with an adapter. So if you've got an RV with a 30 amp plug, they do include an adapter in the box. These are your parallel terminals, so if you wanted to parallel this one with another one, you can. I don't plan to do that. This is honestly exactly what I need, and I don't want to have to fiddle with two engines. And here's your grounding terminal here. So you would take some 4-gauge wire, ground it to a brass rod or whatever, stick it down in the ground, and ground this thing out. On the left side of the unit, you do have your oil filter panel. This entire panel does pull off. You can lift this up, and that is where you would pop it in the middle. You've got a screw here, a screw there, and then pops right out. This is the back panel, and it's pretty simple. I mean, I'm not ever going to be messing with this a whole lot, but on occasion, because of, safety requirements, you do have a spark arrestor here. It's held on with 2 bolts down inside there, and you would just remove each one of those bolts, and you would clean all the carbon deposit on your spark arrestor. You could probably just use brake cleaner. That would probably work just as good as anything. So that's pretty much it for this tour around the Predator 3500 generator inverter generator. Like I said, it has gotten amazing marks as far as being super quiet, being relatively being a really good value for exactly everything that you get. I couldn't find anything else better. So this thing happened to be on sale at Harbor Freight. They send out coupons. They do it all the time, but instead of the original $769 for this, I managed to get it for $689. And everything else that even came close in the same ballpark as this, and in many cases much less power output, was going to cost somewhere in the ballpark of either between $800, $900, $1,000 to $1,200. As it stands, this right now is the best deal in portable inverter generator quality you can buy. And one final note, I did happen to notice that even though most smaller campers are in fact 30 amps, this thing is only rated up to 25 amps. So you'll need to kind of take inventory of what your total amperage draw is on all the different things that you're going to be running on a consistent basis, and make sure that they don't exceed the 25 amps total max. And if you do that, I mean, they've done a really nice job of kind of laying everything out for you so that you know exactly what you need to be doing. And that includes having the instructions on how to run it and make it do its thing right here on the unit. So if you have to send someone else to go maybe deal with turning this thing on or whatever, the instructions are right here on the front top. Easy peasy. No one should get confused. Just do the steps 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Easy. Now, as far as the accessories, they give you a quick start card, but this is your 30 amp twist lock RV plug. I'm not really a huge fan of these, to be perfectly honest, but hey, it's free. So this right here is your spark plug wrench. So they put it in a little bag for you, and they also give you an oil funnel specifically designed for this particular engine. So good to go. Oil compartment has this, and it actually retains itself, so that is pretty daggone convenient. So even though you take it out, you're not going to accidentally lose it. There's your dipstick. It's not very long, but it's got easily indicatable lines about where your oil needs to go. And with the included funnel, even without taking the side cover off, that fits absolutely perfect with the funnel in the upward direction. So we're going to throw in some 10W30 conventional in this thing right now. Going to run it for 5 hours, drain it, fill it back up with another 20 ounces of conventional oil, drain that, and then I'm going to fill it with synthetic. So this is going to take me a while. Obviously, I'm not recording the whole thing, but that's how we're going to get started. Now, when you do this process, when you do your braking process, don't buy anything super duper expensive like Mobil 1, because you're literally just trying to help yourself clean out any of the metal shavings from the process of making the engine. They don't do a very good job of cleaning those things out from the factory. So, you know, that's the reason you're getting it so cheap, is because they don't do a lot of the extra work, you know, on the processing end. So just buy some cheap Walmart SuperTech. You're just going to be dumping it in a few hours anyway, and then buy another one, dump that, and then put in something really nice like some Mobil 1 synthetic, full synthetic. That'll help it last for a long time. Alright, so this Predator only takes 20 ounces. This thing has roughly 30 ounces in it, so you should have about 12 units left after you're done pouring this in. This 10W30 seems to be going in pretty smooth. It's kind of a warm day though. It's in the 90s today. I'm in the shade now, so it's not horrible. The manufacturer actually recommends checking your oil level every 8 hours. I don't know if that's just because, you know, if you don't, they can deny your warranty claim or something like that, or if this thing actually does burn a lot of oil. Alright, that ought to be about it. I'm going to let this finish draining in, check it with the dipstick, and see where we're at. Alright. I mean, that thing is perfect. Exactly 20 ounces of oil, and I mean, it is right there on that line. That is impressive. So at least they got the measurements and stuff right. And the oil cap goes back in pretty good. Just hand tight, just finger over tight. Should be good to go. Now it's time to put some gas in. Alright, so in my case, I'm going to use just a little bit of STP gas treatment just to make sure that we don't have anything that could gum or foul this thing up, because the gas that we got is, it does have ethanol in it. So I'm just going to use this because I know that I'm not going to be storing this gas, but I do want it to run as fuel efficient as possible. A lot of times this stuff will really help things move along a little bit better. So, you know, you can do it if you want, but you don't have to. I'm going to put about 1 ounce in here, which is really kind of overkill. This thing only has 5 1/4, and it treats up to 21 gallons, but this will be more than enough with 1 ounce. Don't forget to clean up your mess if you make any. Alright, good to go. Let's put gas in. Looks pretty full, but it doesn't look all the way. I mean, I'm just scared I'm going to lose a bunch of gas if I keep filling it up, though. So, we're just going to stop here. That should be more than enough. I'm only going to put about 25% load on it. Alright, let's put the fuel filter back in there. Put the gas cap back on. Perfect. I believe that it's time. Alright, now we're going to take off the battery compartment door so that we can attach the battery. I think it comes disconnected from the factory, which is unfortunate, but it does help save the battery some energy. I really should probably be using a Phillips head, but this is what I had handy real quick. And that is foam padded as well. That's nice. Alright, so it looks like right down here is your attachment strap. I'm not really sure how to disconnect it. Oh, okay. So you just pull it, and it's got a little latch underneath there, and that allows you to slide the battery out. It's pretty tight, though. Gotta be honest. seems like it works pretty good if you just kind of tuck your fingers up underneath the battery and then just slide it out. So it's not huge, but it's pretty good. And then all of your terminal connections, your screws are up here taped on top. And as you can see, it's tucked up in here. There's your 2 terminal wires. So we're just going to attach these and then push the battery back in. We should be good to go. Alright, so I thought this was going to be a little bit more of a pain in the ass than it was, but this these boot covers for your connectors, they actually slide back off the cable a little bit, so that kind of gets out of your way while you're working to get it all screwed down. So a lot more convenient. I mean, honestly, they've done a really, really good job with this thing. Yeah, they leave you just enough cable here to get this job done. No more, no less. Pretty perfect. Slide this thing back in if we can. So I'll thread that up through the middle of the 2 cables. Perfect. Man, they really did a good job. All right, and latch it back down there. Good to go. If only everything was this well planned out. I mean, this is actually an exceptionally well planned out piece of equipment. All right, that's just about got everything. I think we're just about ready to fire this thing up. So pretty excited, actually. I mean, who would have thought you'd get excited over starting an engine? But it's pretty cool because of what it can do. I mean, it literally makes sure that you have power no matter where you go, and that's exciting. Okay, so what you have to do when you're ready to start, now that the battery's connected, you're full of gas, you're full of oil, you turn this thing to start. All right, and then you can press make sure that your eco throttle is turned off, and then you hit the starter. And then you turn it to run. So first start, first pull, first start. And this thing is quiet. I mean, it is ridiculously quiet. I am ridiculously impressed at how quiet this thing is. I don't know if it translates well on the camera, but I mean, we can... but we can totally have a conversation. Like, this is not obnoxious like that other one was. Like, this sounds like a low hum of like a lawnmower outdoors. Like, if you were inside, you would hear a lawnmower. That's what this thing sounds like. That's how quiet this thing is. So, this readout panel here shows that we're outputting 124 volts, 0 amps because we don't have a load on it, no volts, 0 hours, and we've had it running for 1 minute. I mean, I am ridiculously impressed with how quiet this thing is. Yeah, so we were just kind of standing over here. I don't know how far this is. I'm not measuring it 23 or 25 feet out, but from all the way over there, I mean, you honestly, you can't even hear this thing. Now, granted, it's not under load. There's no power being, drawn from it. But just, like, this is night and day from the standard open frame generators that I'm used to. I've never in my entire life heard anything this quiet. So if you are in the least bit apprehensive about getting one of these because you're about to RV or full-time and you're worried about noise, this is the only way to go as far as I can tell. Also, as a side note, your oil fill, I've heard some people say that this thing really needs some extra air. I've seen people drill holes in this because this is where your air kind of, like, I guess gets sucked in, because if you place this right here, it will pull it up on its own. Like, it's got enough force that it will just suck it right up. So I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not 100% for sure, but I guess I'll look into it as we, progress and move forward with this thing. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm stupidly impressed. I've heard a lot of generators in my day. That thing, hands down, is the quietest one I've ever heard. And that is even quieter than my friend's Honda. So I can see why it gets such good reviews. As long as you take care of these small engines, as long as you do the maintenance, as long as you keep yourself on a schedule, these small little engines, they'll last you a good long time. There's only a few things that you really need to watch out for, and that's the breather box, your carburetor, making sure that it's always got oil, make sure that you stabilize your gas if you plan on letting it sit for a while. If nothing else, at least add some gas additive, because in most places you're going to have ethanol in your gas, but that thing is quiet. Ridiculously quiet. It gets top marks for me. And if you guys happen to be interested and you want to help me out a little bit, I am all about those affiliate links. So they might be at Amazon right now. I've seen them go pretty high, but I don't really have affiliate links for Harbor Freight. I don't even know that they do that, but I'm sure that most other inverter generators are pretty damn comparable to this. I don't have any experience with any of them. All I know is how awesome this thing is. So, but if you got any other RV supplies that you need to pick up or whatever, links will be down there, and I appreciate all the support. I really do. All right, guys. So thanks for hanging out with me and checking out my brand new generator. It's pretty freaking awesome, man. I'm telling you. All right, guys. Peace.